Have you ever stared at the dazzling catalogs of a trusted online luxury watch retailer, only to be shocked by the exorbitant price tags attached to these metallic time tellers, but can't bring yourself to such a low level to purchase a replica watch? Well, I can confirm that you, sir or madam, are not the only one. However, I have the solution just for you. This is the Pagani Design PD1664. Does it look familiar? Now, as a company with the name Pagani Design, there seems to be a rather little amount of design at work here, seeing that most of the watches from Pagani Design, in quotations, are homages or more closer to copies of the designs of a watch brand that you may have heard of. Rolex. Yes, the PD1664 is a homage or near copy of the Rolex Chronograph Daytona, and yes, despite being a Chinese watch, this small affordable piece of timekeeping has captured the attention of several not very well-off watch collectors, like me. This watch was the watch that threw me wallet first into the world of Chinese watch collecting. I started my some say addiction but I say hobby with a classic Seiko 5 and needed something more. That small 38mm Seiko just didn't quench my lust for watches, whilst the discovery of the Pagani Design Daytona Homage on the entertaining watch YouTuber's channel Just One More Watch vanquished the urging flame to buy a new watch in my soul, temporarily. The watch I have here was purchased from a separate dealer of Pagani Design watches on a homegrown online shopping website. I decided to get it from there because they were cheaper on sale than on the official store. The watch arrived astoundingly quickly in just under a week, and also arrived with no damage, which is always a good thing when it comes to online watch shopping. The PD1664 is almost a straight-up copy of the Rolex Daytona on the oyster flag strap, with the PD1644 being the one on the bracelet. I purchased the blacked out version. The watch has a diameter of 40mm, or rather around 39mm, not inclusive of the crown, perfect for my slightly above average Asian wrists, and most likely perfect for many other wrist types. The watch has a thickness of 12mm and a lug-to-lug of 47mm. This allows the watch to embed itself into my wrist, making the watch look sleek and making it comfortable to wear. The PD1664 comes with a rather amazing at this price Seiko VK63 Mega Quartz movement. That is, a quartz movement that also has a beautiful mechanic-like sweep of the chronograph hand. The Seiko VK63 supports 3 subdials and keeps time at an accuracy of plus or minus 20 seconds a month, and also has a date complication. The PD1664 has a chronograph hand, a second subdial at the bottom, an hour subdial to the right, a chronograph hour subdial to the left. The watch also has a date window between 4 and 5 o'clock. The cheap watch surprisingly has a screw-down crown and chronograph pushers, allowing for its claimed rating of 100 meters of water resistance, allowing wearers to take a swim, though I have no idea why anyone would do that. The PD1664 is made mostly of smoothly polished stainless steel that gives off a reflective shine when exposed to light and warps the light reflecting off it, making my face look like I put it through one of those wonky curved mirror apps when I stare directly towards the side of it. The crown and pushers, however, don't really feel of a quality metal to me. It certainly isn't plastic, but it doesn't feel strong and weighty like stainless steel should. It sort of feels like the clicky bit of a plastic pen. The screw-down pushers wobble around the screw bit until it is fully unscrewed, though it's something you'd see coming from a watch at this price. Despite this, the screw-down crown of the watch seemed solidly built, and has Pagani Design's logo pressed onto the side of it. The bezel of the watch is a beautiful black ceramic with clear numbering for the tachymeter markings, and in the radius of the bezel sits the artificial sapphire glass, which is wonderful for a watch at this price. The hands look exactly like the ones on the Rolex Chronograph Daytona, while the indices on the PD1664 are thinner and slimmer than the indices on the Daytona. I should also note that some of the indices on certain pieces are not super accurately aligned, but they usually only veer off the correct positions by only a few micrometers, which is basically unnoticeable, unlike my teeth before I had braces. The caseback of the watch is a solid piece of screw-down stainless steel, again supporting the claim of 100 meters of water resistance that this watch supposedly has. The round piece of stainless steel has a cute little starfish engraved into the back of it, with Pagani Design water-resistant 100 meters and stainless steel etched beautifully around the center of the caseback. The polished parts of the caseback gives off an iridescent glow, allowing a different stroke of a dull rainbow whenever you look at the back of the watch. There is one issue that I have, however. Mr. Starfish here at the back is a sweat and dirt magnet. The engraved starfish tends to scrub off dirt and residue off a sweaty wrist and capture it until the watch is cleaned, most effectively with a brush, and unfortunately that is not the only part of the watch that loves the fact that you are going to wear her under the sun. The rubber strap. Oh, the rubber strap. An almost blatant copy of Rolex's Oyster Flex bracelet, just without the cool integrated clasp, fully extended middle strip, and underside flaps that are supposedly designed to make a rubber strap not feel sticky and uncomfortable when wearing them. The strap instead comes with a very solid feeling buckle, with Pagani Design's logo etched onto the center of it, and a strap with a strange cross-hatched underbelly as a replacement for Rolex's flaps. Believe it or not, the flattened hot cross bun on the bottom side of the strap does indeed make it more comfortable, preventing the strap from hugging the side of your wrists, thus preventing the clammy feeling of peeling a rubber strap off of your wrist after a day of sporty use. This tic-tac-toe / knots and crosses design does have one noticeable downfall though, despite the benefit this provides. Remember how I said that there was another part of the watch that loves collecting dirt and sweat as a hobby? I was talking about the dulled scoring pad that is the underside of the watch's strap. This unfortunate pattern scrubs out the coagulated sweat and dirt globules of your wrists and hides it in a maze of straights and turns. The strap of the watch proved itself to be very comfortable, though unfortunately has the side effect of being a pain in the ass to clean. I'd say the dial of the watch, however, is neither clean nor dirty. It's more of a neat mess. The dial walks hand in hand with the watch's persona, an homage of the Rolex Daytona, with the signature 3 subdials, chronograph hand, and an addition of a date window between 4 and 5 o'clock. This watch's copycat dials are forced to be reckoned with. The 3 subdials are marked with chromatically shiny silver circumferences that have ridges like Ruffles chips. These chrome donuts have the same iridescent rainbow shine as the caseback and gives off 3 times of the light show on the front of the watch as in the back. These shiny circles reflect off the piece of sapphire, sometimes creating a mirage of 2 sets of triple subdials, giving the dial a trippy look to it. All the hands in the subdials and as well as in the main dial itself are basically copies of the ones on the Rolex Daytona. The only other 3 differences in the dial is the extra date window, wording, and hour markers themselves. The hour markers on the PD1664 are a slimmer, longer, and sleeker version of the hour markers on the Rolex Daytona, giving the dial an additional buff to its sleekness and professionalness. And I should say I kinda do prefer the hour markers on this watch compared to the one that this watch is trying to be. The second and minute markers on the circumference of the dial are the exact same as the one on the Rolex Daytona, though the markings on the subdials are small and black, which may make it hard to read when blinded by the rainbow rings reflecting off of the dial. The lettering in the upper center of the dial is sufficient and not cluttering, reading Pagani Design Chronograph Sport, with Sport in dark red, making it slightly hard to read with the black dial version. Other than that, there are no other problems I have with the deep black dial. Do note that the date window only exists with a white date wheel, making it look off with a black dial, of which did not really bother me. Lastly, the chronograph hand does sweep nicely, like the second hand of a low-beat automatic movement would. The chronograph hand lasts a total of 1 hour, the maximum limit to the chronograph minute subdial it has on the left. On my piece, the top chronograph pusher requires a larger force to get the hand going and to stop, then the pusher on the bottom to reset the hand. This was just an extremely small issue of the watch that I did not really care about. Now, the final small crux of this watch is undoubtedly the lume. The watch follows Pagani Design's tradition of subpar luminescence, brightness that reminds me of a phone in low battery mode, and the time the lume lasts follows along with the low battery mode ideology. Essentially, it doesn't last long. Lastly, the single most important driving factor that made me impulsively stick my finger on that add to cart option was the price. Going as low as $69 USD and sometimes even lower during sales, it would be a mistake to not purchase this watch. It's hard to find another watch at this price sharing a similar build quality to the PD1664. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my review of the Pagani Design Daytona Homage and hope you have a nice day too. Do remember to subscribe and like. That will tell me whether I should make more videos like this. I would also love to have a chat in the comments about the PD1664 and other watches as well. Thank you.